Here we go. Back at it. Episode 3? Is it episode 3? Or is it 4? I think it's 3. Fuck it, it's 3. It's 3, right?
Or 4.
It's 4. Oh, it's 4. That's whatever. Fine. Episode 4. Sit your podcast down. Back in the building. G, Reek, McFly. Every week, man, I don't know if it's because it's getting warmer out, because of the pandemic. I don't know, man. It's just people are getting weirder and weirder. So, y'all see what's in my background? Or Kurt Cobain, Kid Cudi action. Did y'all watch SNL, by the way? Just out of curiosity?
No, I watch SNL.
No one watches it until the clip suggests that you should go watch it, right? That's how that.
And then you just watch that clip.
Then you watch that.
I wait for YouTube. I watch the with Michael Che and the guy that do the news or whatever.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I watch. I wait for it to come on YouTube.
Pete Davidson.
That's hilarious. So your boy Cudi was on there. First off, okay, I may be alone on this. That's fine. I'll die on this hill. Kid Cudi sucks. I don't like any of his music. Trash. He's trash.
Yeah,
now he birthed a lot of these other emo rappers / not rapping dudes. So I give him that. He's a godfather of this trash, but he's trash. But my man had a dress on. I guess an ode to Kurt Cobain. And I don't care about him wearing a dress. Whatever. It's 2021. Do whatever makes you happy. I don't really care. Right. So this isn't anti any of that. But I'm listening to your boy, the snake in the grass, Joe Button. I'm gonna refer to him as that because I don't know how the fuck this man got Rory and Mal in the intro and they're not there. I'm just like, you have enough money,
I was
Joe.
thinking that.
You have enough money to take. Don't disrespect these dudes by having them in the title with Rory and Mal, and it's just not them. It's just some random dudes that pop up, and then you want to have a dark skinned dude and a light skinned dude to mimic the white and black. Like, what are you doing?
Maybe he's holding on to hope that they would come back, even though I kind of like Ish on there.
I don't know if I like him or not. I don't.
Yeah.
It brings the old head energy.
I
You
guess.
talk over everybody.
Yeah, you do. I don't know if I like it better or not. But either way, whatever. We got to hold on the topic. Either way, the point is, Joe made a topic. Joe made it. He said it was funny if you watch the clip. Joe kind of took over it because he was just like, "Cause y'all gonna pander. I'm gonna just say how I feel." And then they kind of just hopped on board. So I don't know how much it was for them. So I'm just going to say it was from Joe. Joe was like, essentially, he didn't like that somebody like Cudi, who presents himself as like somebody who cares about like mental health and all that, would use kind of the memory of Kurt Cobain to push a clothing line. What he was saying was essentially, if you know Kurt Cobain's story, he committed suicide, whatever. But most people know the story. He was saying that his ode to him was cool until like a day later, you talking about I got a clothing line. Yo, this is gonna be in it. And it's like, I'm gonna be working with Off-White. And I just feel like I didn't think about it like that. But you know what? Yeah. I mean, I think you don't speak ill of the dead, but probably don't use them to hawk shit too. Maybe. I don't know. What are y'all thoughts? I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I agree with Joe. Like, you shouldn't use that, as a platform to boost your sales or whatever. And it kind of defeats the purpose, like, because if you're trying to actually pay homage to Kurt Cobain, you shouldn't be trying to capitalize off his name like that either. Like, you want to pay out, you could have wore a t-shirt. You know what I mean? He didn't even wear the same dress. Like, if you look at Kurt Cobain, when he did it, he had like a t-shirt on under, he had shorts on under the dress. Like, he wasn't like how Kid Cudi was. And Kid Cudi just clearly trying to sell a product. And I think it's just a sign of the times. Like, people just try to ride whatever wave is hot. So it's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to use Kurt Cobain, and everybody's going to remember Kurt Cobain. I'm going to get attention off, and now I'm going to sell something. And it's like it's disingenuous. And I think a lot of people do that. And I just like, I can't ride for anything like that. Like you can't use his name. Don't use his name for something like that if you're really trying to pay tribute to him.
And the thing is, like, Kurt Cobain, like there are so many better ways to pay tribute to him, because he did a lot of like wild stuff. Like wasn't he the guy that they purposely, so like they were told that they had to lip sync, so they purposely went on stage and were as crazy as possible so people knew that they weren't playing, because they just wanted to play live. Because they come from, garage band, the gutter, I guess, the gutter
really
punk rock, whatever.
Really want to play their music.
The gutter of punk rock. So they out there, they want to play, and they told them no. So I mean, they did a lot of like crazy stunts, like maybe crazy back in the day, stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you could like represent.
But yeah, he could have went up there like you want to pay homage. Why didn't you perform like "Smells Like Teen Spirit" or something like that? Like you could have did anything like that. You know what I mean? Wore a T-shirt with his face on it. Like you could have did that. But you want to take it to the next level and be like, oh well, by the way, I got this clothing line. It's like, come on, man.
I mean, I agree. It does feel like it feels disingenuous, but it also feels like, is this just where shit is now? Is this what people do? Is this like fuck the morals, get the eyeballs? Like, is that all that matters?
Yeah.
This shit just feels sad.
I didn't hear the take, but I do slightly, and maybe this is bad, but I mean, I guess I'll say it. I do slightly get annoyed when people cry mental health for a lot of stuff.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I hope this wasn't like one of those things where it's, I don't know. I think it's a term that's used a little too loosely.
Absolutely. I think because like it's something that gets attention. It's something that gets clout. Just like people jump on anything, any wave that's happening, anything that's getting a lot of attention, people want to kind of jump on, and you see it. Just like if something like how Black Lives Matter, right? Something happens, and then everybody's in the Black Lives Matter mode. You see a bunch of people jumping on that wave that don't say anything about any of those issues any other time. And it's the same thing here. It's just like you just trying to hop on a wave because it's popular. And this is going to get me a lot of attention. This is going to get me likes. It's going to get me clout. And they do it. And it's just like, it's not real, and that's why it's like hard to find people that are actually really about what they say. Because anybody supports something that's getting a lot of attention, but it's like, what you going to do when it's not?
Yeah, it's something with the times, man. It really is. It's all about the eyeballs, man. No one cares when no one's looking. It doesn't matter. When somebody's looking, it's like, oh yeah, we care so much about that. I mean, honestly, I hate to switch subjects too fast, but that's how the Black Rob shit felt to me. Like I know Black Rob just passed, whatever, and people were talking about it, and they were like, "Yo, man, like I forget who came on it. Who's the dude?
Choke No Joke.
Yeah, you saw his thing.
I didn't see his thing. Choke No Joke hates Jay, so it's just like he hates Puff, he hates Jay, he hates all them dudes. So he's like one of the big conspiracy guys.
Honestly, here's the thing though about that. Like, I thought he was just one of them haters too, right? But here's the thing: he came out and I won't say he backed Puff, but he didn't really talk shit about Puff. So what he said was essentially, boys are acting like, oh, they were so concerned about what was going on with Black Rob, because obviously, if you look at Black Rob, like he looked like something was off. You could just tell, like people who were seeing whatever. And he came out obviously a little while before this, whatever, obviously needing help, being homeless and shit, whatever. So he was saying, yo, Puff reached out when shit was going bad for him. Puff reached out to help pay for the, I guess, the funeral expenses or whatever. So like, this idea that no one's reached out is lies. Now, I ain't hear the whole clip, so I don't know if he got into Puff later, but it felt like the same thing, that people wanted to look like, oh, they was doing the right thing when it came out, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah, I think Puff, and the thing about Puff is I know people were just getting mad at him because he put that post on Twitter about like ownership and stuff like that. I don't know if you saw that like maybe a week ago.
Yeah, I
But
did see that.
yeah, but but that itself is kind of funny too, because like a lot of people, granted, they were right, but it's like the cycle, right? It's like this is a season, this is the moment to hate this right now, so let me just jump on board. So,
Yeah, man, that's what they're doing. You know, 'cause like I think Black Rob and Puff severed ties like 15 years ago. You know what I mean? And you know, everybody's blaming Puff for how the artists end up. And it's
I
just like
mean,
you could kind of blame Puff, but at the same
No,
time,
you could really blame Puff.
but here's the thing: it did when you look at the contracts or anything, they were standard music contracts for back then.
All
Like
right.
Puff didn't do
All right,
no Barry
no.
Gordy like taking bigger chunks than he was supposed to.
No.
but don't get to
I got you, G. You crucified Master P for the same shit. Come on, Reek. That ain't
Listen,
fair.
I'm not taking like here's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying, if you can talk about Master P, you can talk about Diddy.
I can talk about Diddy. But here's the thing. Here's my difference between Master P and Puff.
Besides the bad shoes and rap snacks.
Right. Besides that, right? Besides throwing your name on everything. Right?
Buying Reebok.
Puff.
I'm sorry.
Right, but here's the thing.
Master P.
Right. Those are huge differences to me. But also at the same time, I think Puff cares more about the quality of his products than Master P.
So I hear you on that. I'm talking about,
you know what I mean?
The way he take care of his people.
Right, and as far as I'm concerned, they're the same as far as that goes. But I think Puff more recently has been talking about ownership. Master P's always been trying to hang on that, and I don't think he was ever about that. You know what I mean? Puff kind of been doing it more recently than Percy. But Percy is just like come on, man. Like Beats by he still owe Beats by the pound money. Like like come on, man. Like
stop calling that man Percy. It's Master P. Put some respect on that man's name and call him Percy. You don't call what's Diddy? You don't call Diddy Sean. You call him Diddy.
Sean changes his names a lot, so you know
He does. I'm not
saying
wrong.
You know, and like I said, they do the same thing. But my thing is like with my issue with Percy, like Percy trying to act like he don't. You know what I mean?
Diddy don't act like he does either. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like if maybe this isn't fair. If Black Rob, I mean, you know what? Nah, because we can't say it about DMX either. I don't know if having his masters or having a better deal would have made him have a better life. Because if you have some issue with you, whether it's addiction, whether it's like a health issue, whatever, you're gonna be that person. Money just increases your access to shit that maybe you shouldn't have.
Right. Like
so I can't necessarily say that it would have been different if he had his masters. But maybe more than the money, it's like, did he just look out a little more for my man? It's like keep money up and up, like try to keep him out of shit. You know what I mean? Like,
but here's the thing, like, here's my question, like, is that his responsibility?
I think
because when you look at like, you know, because y'all saying comparing Master P, like Master P was always like, you know, we take care of the artists, we do things differently. Puff never sat on that. Puff was always like, you know, we're doing standard record deal music stuff. So it's like, is it his responsibility to take care of people, you know, down the line, even if they're not connected anymore?
No, but the problem is the message that he preaches is contrary to his actions. And that's where I have a problem. It's like, if you're gonna be a businessman and that's what you're about and you're about profit, then don't get in here and tell me all this ownership, support Black people stuff. Because at this point, it's like, obviously it's capitalism, but at this point, you're just doing this to generate more money in your pockets. And there's nothing wrong with that because you're supposed to as a businessman. But I'm not going to say you're exploiting people because I feel like people are smarter than that. And I don't think you're like, I don't know, malicious, but I just don't like the message. I don't know. It's just you can't have that message and then like do the exact opposite of it.
I think the messaging that's I think I agree with G on that. It's not that he has a responsibility to Black Rob and others, but if you're so big about and Diddy's taken this position in the culture, in the community as like I'm that old head voice now. I'm trying to lead y'all to a path of financial freedom. I'm trying to lead y'all to a path about building and uplifting your community, right? I'm trying to be that through ownership, you know what I'm saying, through philanthropy, through all of that shit. So if you lead with that kind of energy, you got to kind of make sure that people who have been in your circle directly receive the benefit of that. Black Rob being one, and I'm telling you, when they said the list of like, yo, is this the worst label to work for? They show all the people and like they all got some wild shit happening to them, going to jail, being bro, being in this, being in that. Like that to me suggests that you don't preach that in your own circle.
Yeah,
Like
and
how aren't you doing that amongst all of them?
just to maybe counter myself, I can sit back and understand that as a for-profit company, you probably have pressures to handle business a certain way. So there's likely, I'm not saying that he doesn't want to, and he probably does. He probably does more than most people, right? Like, who knows? And I'm not counting his pockets, but I can understand that as a for-profit company that he has to run, he has to have employees that get paid. Some of these rappers are his employees, so they should probably get paid too. But I can understand why it's not as easy as it looks. How it's easy but it's easy to preach it, and like I don't know, I guess I'm not doing it, so I can't judge. I don't have the money to do it, but I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way a little bit.
I feel like criticism to him is fair. We don't know enough. Maybe he does more than we don't see. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not giving him a whole lot of credit for coming in and paying for the funeral. I'm not. I give you some credit, but I don't know how much I can give you. Like, oh man, he did right by Rob. The funeral was beautiful. I mean,
should he take care of his family?
Yeah,
right.
To me, everybody in Rob family, to an extent, let's say he got kids. Them kids should have jobs with Revolt when they of age. Period. That should be just like and I'm for profit. I'm gonna put you on. Now I'm gonna give you a record deal and put you on the music. But come to Revolt, I got you a job.
But you gotta look at things like Black Rob ain't have a good relationship with his own kids.
I'm just saying if
you know what I mean. But also like so, every label and every label head should have responsibility to all these artists' families. Because you look at like a Clive Davis, he got a bunch of failed artists. You know what I mean? Or you got a bunch of what's came from that worked with Dr. Dre. What's his name? You know what I'm talking. Not well, you can look at like a Leor Cohen, or you can look at anybody like that. Like, are they responsible? You know what I mean? Because like just the way they look at, because you notice how, they'll quick to blame the black record label person. So like when Jay was president of Def Jam, Jay was getting all the blame for every artist issue, everything, but nobody ever looked at Leor for anything.
But I think
that's not right.
That's a whole another. Okay, so you opening a can of worms.
Yeah,
here's the thing. You talk about we need to. If that's the case, we need to remove all of that shit from our culture. Literally, it's like a weed in the bouquet of flowers. You got to go in there. You rip that shit out from the root, right? To me, that's a whole nother this conversation. Like to me,
yeah.
Because to do that effectively, you right. If you get into music because of what it represents, it's a voice of our people. It's a way for men that didn't have access to wealth to access wealth. You should be trying to build generational wealth across their families. DMX should not have died broke. Black Rob should not have died broke. They should have died with trust funds to set up all their kids with property and shit. It should have been done the right way. The shit that Jay-Z says he was trying to do at Roc Nation Sports, like build an empire for you and maintain it, that's what should be happening in music because of the uniqueness of what that music represents. This shit isn't for the
Right.
boys in the suburbs. This is for us. So let's
I
do
think-
it for us the right way. I mean,
And
that's
I
a
think
lot.
it's fair to criticize them, but they're also unfortunately in a lose unfair situation, right? Because it's like boys been getting janked and robbed their whole career, and then finally they see one of them. It's like, all right, well, we've been getting robbed, but it's like you don't really understand how much they can really do.
I mean,
Like
that comes
Jay,
down to
Right. Right. You know, it's
Jay has his own money now, so like Jay has exceeded that level of I can't do anything now. Jay has the money to do, but like I'm sure Puff probably close, but like a lot of us aren't.
yeah, but
most of us.
and that's my thing is like, whose responsibility does that fall on? You know what I mean? Like,
you know what? So like, I'll tell you
if
this.
because I mean, because I'm looking like, okay, you look at Black Rob. Like, I'm pretty sure Black Rob has had at one, especially when he was hot, had more money than a lot of people. So, you know, right. So it's like, how is that not part of your responsibility? What you do with it?
No, it is, but I think it's just like it's a 10 to 10 theory. Not to get too deep in that shit, but you got to realize it onus is on the individual, of course, but that 10 to 10th, I mean, the Diddy's, the J's. That's why black celebrity, I feel, is such a failure, because what's been preached to us, the odds of a Diddy existing or a Jay existing or a fucking Kanye existing or an Oprah existing, the chances of that shit happening, that's not even a 10 out of 10. That's a 10 to the 1%, right? They should, because you've made your money, in particular, you rappers, and I would say to a lesser extent, NBA players, because you've made a lot of your bones on our backs, you goddamn right, you got a responsibility to the culture. So it does fall on Diddy. Is it fair or not fair? Heavy's the head that wears the crown, man.
Word ain't fair. Deal with it.
You get this wonderful life of generational wealth for your if Diddy does shit right, his great grandkids won't have to work a day in their life. Who can say that shit in our community? Nobody. So it's on you because of this shit you've been given, largely through us making your shit hot. You have a right to make sure that as best you can, the Black Robs of the world are good, the Looms of the world are good, and everyone that comes to your goddamn doors is good. It starts with your house. You can't get on YouTube and be like, man, doing up the culture and man, we gotta get better on this. You can't do that shit when Black Rob's sitting there at 52, like, man, I needed help and you weren't around. Not enough. And I mean, he's a grown man making some decisions, but how much were you there? I obviously think it wasn't enough considering what he was.
I get Reek's point. How accountable is he? Right? You know.
Right. Because that's the thing, like, because to me, it's always like, okay, because this is one thing I don't like about this generation in particular. Everybody's always looking to place the blame on the next man. So it's just like, okay, yeah, they have a certain responsibility once they've reached a certain status and a certain level to reach back down and help people. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you shouldn't be sitting there expecting them to do that either.
Yeah, they're not gonna do the work for you.
Right. So it's like you know, I was actually talking to my dad about this like a week ago, you know, and he was like, you know, I can set you up. He was like, I can put you in positions to do things. I give you opportunities to do things, but I can't make you do them. You know what I mean? Right. Like, so
it's the same thing like Cam was when Cam was telling them stories about how they came in the Def Jam and they saw an opportunity and they took it, right? And then all the state property boys came in there and got mad. Right. Like, why you get in office? I cleaned out an empty closet room that wasn't an office. Right. This ain't an office. How long you been here? This is not an office.
Right. It was just empty. Yeah, it was a closet.
I don't know. I'm not trying. I don't want to be a judge of anybody's character, but I don't know if Black Rob is the type of guy that, you know, given an opportunity, will make the best of it. I mean, he did what he did.
Let's be clear. I think Black Rob's life suggests either he made poor decisions or he suffered from something that he couldn't overcome, whether it was addiction, whether it was some kind of medical issue. Obviously, something didn't go right as planned. I will hope all of us can look at it and think, yo, I don't want to croak at 50 or some like just bottom line.
Right.
I mean, not to, and again, considering the level of success and the connections that he had, fuck the money he has. He knows Diddy. Not like I seen him at a show one time and he sat me up and said, you cool. I know Diddy. I know other people. So access to that clearly shows he could have done more. Just saying about DMX. DMX could have just not been on other shit. We understand he go through something and it's hard to overcome that. But you, at some point, yes, it's on the people. It's on you to take control of your life and as best you can. But all I'm saying is I'm not going to dump it all on Diddy. But Diddy is not scot-free. That's my only thing. Now, how much is it on him? I don't know. I can't give a percentage to it. But it's definitely on him to an extent.
Considering like Black Rock was probably like the shooter, you know. Did he probably? I mean, on that note, did he probably owes him? But I don't know.
He took it back. He said, considering that Black Rock was the shooter,
he probably owned. But like, I don't know. It's the plight of our people, man. It's the miseducation and not knowing what's out there. So
the miseducation is real. You're right about that. That's a big problem.
So can't blame. I don't know. Diddy can't solve that problem. Jay can't solve that problem.
They can't, but I think they have to continually. The burden is heavier on them than most because of their unique status, and because their status is directly attributed to us. Not many other people can say that. Like in baseball, we don't make baseball hot. As a matter of fact, we're making it not hot. So if a baseball player says "fuck all y'all," I'm gonna be like, you probably can say that.
I'm actively trying to get people to stop watching baseball.
Like, I like baseball. Like, you can say it to me, but like, as a people, we not supporting that shit. Like, I understand. They said, I saw a stat randomly while speaking on baseball. We don't talk about baseball ever. They said that the amount of kids in the league that are black is the lowest it's been since Jackie Robinson played. I was like, what the fuck? Are you serious? They're like, it went up from there. It was like, it is back down. When like he first broke the color line, they started breaking it here. And they were like, yo, it was at like, I think Kobe's after that 8%. They said it is back at 8%. I was like, that is fucking.
It's the NBA's fault, man. The best marketing sports.
The best marketing engine in the honestly, it used to be NFL. NFL was just like, remember back in the day, it was like, man, yo, football. Now you'd be like, man, yo, fuck this. They can't even stand outside when the fucking when the anthem goes off. Man, I'm off this shit. I'm turning. Give me some WNBA action. I'm done. It's over. They hurt right now. I literally watched more NBA games this year or last year than I watched non-Bills games. I watched the Bills still, but other than that, I was like, fucking care about this game. I just didn't care, and that's unique. Anyways, I guess you can go to something a little bit happier. It's just heavy conversations.
It was a good one.
It was a good one. You want to go? You know what? We gotta do it, man. What is it? We gonna talk about this URL tournaments coming up?
Yeah, we could talk about that.
Oh, all right.
Let me look at the battlers and here's the thing. Like we watch battle rap, but we're not battle rap junkies like a lot of people are. Like we don't, you know what I mean? Like we don't know everything.
So and so won because on the third bar of the second round. Nah, I'm just no.
Yeah, like some of these people on this list, I know most of them by name. I can't say I've seen all their battles. Okay,
that's a fact.
So when we make our predictions, we're probably going to pick people based on who we know, and also, you know, this is for 100K. So it's like, hey man, you know, I might learn how to battle rap. You giving out 100K,
right?
I can spit a few punchlines. Cass can do it. I can do it. You know what I mean? So if Hitman could do it, I could do it.
I mean, shit, you're right. I'm looking at this list, man. It's Ultimate Madness 3 tournament. Yes. All right. Cortez versus Official. I got Official. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, Cortez has been rather doo-doo.
I got official. I ain't even got to think about it.
Like Cortez hasn't won a battle in like a year.
Cortez is
so it's either the streak continues or it stops with official. But official's actually pretty good. So
official's nice. I mean, I like official. I think it's over. I think official got it. It ain't even no
and question. I think I saw, like, we was doing research or trying to figure out who's in it or whatever. I think their battles are shorter time limit. So I think their rounds only like a minute 30. So you got to get like
they need to get Cass in so you can get on one bar when he says "gat" 100 times.
Right? Yeah. Cass would not like this.
Cass would not like this. All right. So second, he said,
"I'm gonna stop dogging the greatest battle rapper."
No. Listen, I picked him. Cass, my man. Cass, my man. You know that.
Buy some of his CBD oil.
Moving on. Geechee, Gotti, and Riggs.
I have zero idea who the hell Riggs is.
I'm going with Geechee.
I'm going with Geechee.
He going gun bar him to death, but I'm gonna go Geechee. I ain't got shit else on that. Jerry West and Swamp.
I've seen both of them.
So I like Jerry West's delivery.
Yeah, I like Jerry West. Swamp. I like Jerry West. Swamp ain't been the same since he battled KCJ and lost. You know, and you know, not saying Swamp ain't good, but I think Jerry West, especially for the time limit, I like Jerry West a little bit better for that.
Yeah, I do too. I think he got better bars. So they got Jack Boy Man. No, Jack Boy Man. Whatever. I don't know the fuck that is. That one I don't know. That's the first one I don't know.
I haven't seen. I've seen maybe one battle with Jack. Matter of fact, I gotta take that back. I can't say that. So I've only seen John John's rounds against Jack Boy, and I've seen John John throw his chain in the stands and tell him to go get it. So
I'm gonna go with T-Top.
So off of that story, I'm gonna go T-Top as well. I was gonna be T-Top regardless, but now I have no options but to go with T-Top. So that's easy enough. T-Top. All right, now this one is interesting.
I was gonna say because I've been seeing some heat around this. Like there's been some back and forth around this one.
The return. I don't think I've seen him yet on this comeback tour. Serious Jones and Rum Nitty.
Because Serious Jones been in the pokey. That's why you.
I was about to say.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't know how Rum Nitty loses. I'm like, yo, all I'm gonna do is make you in jail jokes, and I'm gonna win.
Listen,
the angle writes itself, like
right, and the ammo that's been given because Serious Jones had a rough couple weeks. Because I guess he was supposed to battle on the Cassidy card.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Right. And then he kept blaming it on ARP, the battle owner. ARP did a blog that just destroyed Serious Jones. Like, no, look, you can't blame me for anything. Like, basically, you don't have a phone. You don't have a place to live. You kept giving me the stuff about your PO and all this other stuff. You couldn't leave. You couldn't do any of this stuff. Like, he went in on Serious Jones.
I'm going to tell you right now why Serious Jones can't win. I think I told you this story. I saw Serious Jones in Times Square handing out CDs. I saw him, and like, by the way, you ever walk through Times Square, you know it'd be like the people in costumes. Listen, America, don't give them money or don't look at them. They're gonna want money from you.
Yeah, don't
take a picture. They're gonna be like, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
don't do it. Number one. Number two, he was the least popular dude down there. People are walking past him. He hawked me on this. I'm not playing. I mean this. He literally grabbed me to the side and was like, yo, my man. I was just like, yo, look at this. I'm like, bro, I'm good. Said, come on, bro, don't do me like that. This is serious. This is what I've never met him before. This is Serious Jones. He losing. That CD was trash, by the way, that he gave me. It was absolute trash. So
which he is.
Which he is. I don't know. If I tell you right now, this is not if Rum Nitty loses, retire. If you lose, retire. Because there's no way in the world you should lose to Serious Jones, fresh out of jail, with no house, with a PO, with no phone.
Oh.
You lose to this, it wasn't meant to be, man. Battle rap ain't for you. See you later. Period.
And the thing is, like, if you're Rum Nitty, like, just skill, like, even Rum Nitty, I mean, even if Serious Jones been out, I would have picked Rum Nitty because you're just better than him.
Right. Even just that alone, you just better.
You're just better than him. Like, Serious Jones is not good. He never was good. I never really liked Serious Jones.
He's one of those guys that he's one of those guys. I think people try to give the same energy they have about him to like the Mooks of the world, to like the Luxes, and I'm just even Cassie to an extent. I'm just like, nah, like they was nice.
Right.
He was always on the fringe of like, is he good or is he just trash and we don't get it?
Yeah, he beat Jen, and it's just like, all right. Then he had a classic with Mook, but I felt Mook won every round. And it's just like, even though it was like, okay, some of the rounds were close, it's like I still feel Mook won each one. But it's still like, outside of that, what has he done to make people put him up on that pedestal? Like, he's a legend with, Mook and Lux and Cass, like or even Cassie, because Cassie ain't really done them, but his reputation from back then was up there. Like, Jones don't have that. So it's just like, Rum Nitty should smoke him. That'd be, and if Serious Jones loses this battle, he might be done.
He has to be. Maybe he's got like the old head cachet. I just don't think he's not. To me, I haven't seen a face off with him or anything like that yet with him, so I don't know. He's not as funny as Cass, and Cass is the king of being unintentionally hilarious,
right?
Because he just feel how he feel.
Yeah, and I forget the other thing you know for getting punched in the face.
Let my man live.
Not a good thing to be known for.
Not a good thing to be known for. It's not. So yeah, that's over. Jen, good throwback name. I forgot about that bum.
He
did beat him though. He's a bum. He's a bum. Don't do those. He's a bum.
Y'all gonna learn Chinese.
Yeah, I did it. So we gonna keep it moving. Like, hey, it was cool. It was unique. I mean, they always gimmicks come out. I mean, whatever. By the way, old school, thinking about random things that came out. And I was going through the DMX catalog. You know what you find? Some really interesting features.
Dragon.
Nah, I avoided all of his songs.
Listen out.
I saw old feature back in the day. Bubba Sparks was on one of their albums, one of the Rough Rider albums.
Rough Rider, yeah. It was like Rough Rider 3.
Yeah. And then speaking of Cassidy was on one of them old albums with a bunch of people that did not last.
After Rough Rider,
he was on the posse cut.
Yeah, after Volume 2, the run was pretty much over.
So man, was it? I got to that third album, I was just like, I like this one song. The rest of this shit, what the fuck? Ugh. Everybody
Ryan was over after Volume 2.
No one can be great every album. I get it. I mean, damn. But yeah, nah. Random throwback to Jen, but with buns. But good for him though. Drugs and Yoshi G. I want to say drugs, but I don't know.
I've never seen Yoshi G battle, but I will say every time I've seen drugs, which is twice, he's lost badly. So I'm going Yoshi G. So we have two women right now going to the next round.
We do. I just feel like whatever it is, I feel like when they battle women, it's like a natural like let up. They don't come with their best shit. I don't know what it is. And again, I'm not mad about it, but at the same time, there's not many sports or competitions where it doesn't matter that you're a man or a woman, y'all can be equal. It isn't like in boxing where if you box a chick, if it even was allowed, you go and pull punches naturally because you just naturally you go and do that, right? Or if you racing against somebody, you may not like be a physical thing. Maybe it's just a race. You may let up. Gee, you a racer. You may not run as fast as you normally run. Maybe just naturally. And like this, I would expect you to come with bars. Do the same thing you would do to anybody else, but I just feel like they don't do that. So I feel like for that alone, I think I agree. I think Yoshi G may have them. I
Yeah,
want to
like
say drugs, but I don't
you're
know.
right. Like it's just weird, like the way they battle. Because the thing is, like they let up what they don't let up because they up their disrespect.
But then
And it's like
it's lazier bars though.
right, but your bars are lazy. So it's just like
Yeah.
they don't go at women like they go at men. Like they don't be as creative. They don't try to do all that punt. Like they just like I'm just gonna be disrespectful to her because she's a woman.
Yeah, a
Just
lot
like
of them. I think
that's
a lot of
trash to
them,
me.
they in the interviews at least. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know them personally, but they say that they have a respect for them or something like that. So maybe they just take it easy because of that. But I know Verb, who the Verb battle. Um, I forget her name, but he battled her and she won, right?
Mhm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
then they did an interview. He was like, "Yeah, I wasn't even really, I know you as a person. I respect you. I'm not even really trying to go like that at you. I just kind of wanted to know personals. Just wanted to battle, show us about lyrics." I'm like, I don't know. It's just not how you win, man.
Who
Why
did
you
he
lost,
battle? Why
probably.
can I remember her name? Who
I
did he
forget her
battle?
name, but
What is it like Miss Hustle?
yeah,
Yeah, that
Miss
makes
Hustle,
sense.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
I don't.
know.
I mean, I want to see if we all admit this is entertainment. I'm all for the ladies doing their thing. I'm just like, to me, it's disrespect to give you half of what I can do. Because then if you just pacifying and they're not really getting better or learning from the laws, then it hurts the sport. It's like it's the one sport I can do in the same room, and it's not like it's an advantage because you're a man. Just get your best bars. But I do think I want to say drugs, but I can see it just falling because he don't bring this back shit.
Hmm.
All right, who's this next one? Prep versus Wave 7. I don't know who the fuck that is. I'm tell you right
I think
now.
it's I got Prep. It was Prepper Swave.
Who is
Uh,
Sway? Why do I feel like I know this person, but
you
I don't
probably
know
know
this person?
Swave because he got glasses and braids. You probably don't know
Oh,
Swave.
okay. All right. Yeah, I do know this person. I know him by name though. Yeah,
Yeah.
he not winning.
Swave. You know what? I'm leaning towards Swave because Swave normally beats the young dudes,
Okay.
but I don't know. I was like I think prepping. I like prep, so I think I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with prep on this one.
really.
But it wouldn't surprise me if Swave beat him because Swave is known to just beat up and
Oh, you
coming
mean
dudes.
KCJ?
Or yes, Swave versus KCJ. Yes, Prep versus Twerk and Swave versus KCJ. So looking at that, I got Twerk beating Prep.
I was gonna say, yeah, really. I thought I'm going to twerk on this one.
Yeah, I got Twerk over Prep, and I think Swave will beat KCJ.
I honestly tell you something. I don't like twerk. I don't like it. His delivery just bothered the fuck out of me.
Kind of annoying in interviews too, but
So like,
I'm not gonna mention that one.
I'm gonna tell you right now, he losing. I don't even care. It's a bias. It just his style don't work for me. It just I'd be like, shut up. I just don't want. I don't know. That's just me.
Has
Uh,
everybody? I mean, I guess the only reason why I pick him because just looking at Prep's name alone, and I'm sure everybody already abused the angle of Prep, right? But like, I'm confident that Twerk can come up with an angle on his name that gives him a whole round, and then like I don't know if they know each other personally, but like just that alone,
I
I
mean,
don't know.
he is a walking angle. That is fair. He's a walking angle. That's actually a pretty good one. So I mean, I'll give you that. Uh Reek, how is this going? They're not all battling on this week, are they? Is it gonna be all this week?
They all
Then they
battling.
just do them. Then they
So
just do it from
I
there.
think the way it goes, like they're gonna battle this week and they going every other week. I think that's why the rounds are so short.
They
So
doing a whole lot at the same time. I
they're
got you.
doing right. I think they're doing everybody then next round, 100K on the line. So I don't know who's going to win the whole thing.
I'm about to say that's what we need to go through next. We got to pick it now before somebody gets, so perhaps this list gets knocked off. Who we going with?
Because the other interesting thing, these battles are judged. So,
whoa, wait a minute, talk about it.
It's judged, so it can't be, how some, some battles let their fans tell they never lost a battle.
Oh, I can't stand the fan. The fan vote is like one of the worst shits. Like, have real objective guys in there.
Who never lost?
Cassie never lost.
Okay.
Yeah, Cassie never lost.
Facts.
JC's another one that never lost.
Yo, he was talking reckless in his. Yo, when he was on 15 Minutes of Fame, I was like, bro, what are you talking about?
His fans because Verb did a blog about JC that was quite funny. He went on him for like a half hour because JC, like, I guess he hates Verb because Verb retired, and then Verb was like, you're not going to battle. Like, Verb was like, you've been around like 10 years. You know what I mean? And how come everybody that came in after you got a chance to battle me and you didn't? And he was giving like a bunch of reasons why. You know what I mean? But anyway, the fans be like, they don't let people lose. So now you got judge battles, but you have to judge it because it's a tournament. It's going to be interesting to see how the judges look at stuff. You know what I mean? So it's tough. I don't know how I'm going to pick who's going to win the whole thing.
That actually might, knowing who the judges are might actually change a couple of my picks, honestly.
Have they announced the judges yet or no?
I don't know who the judges are.
Man, I'm you know what? I went with the underdog last time. I'm going with Sirius Jones. Changing my vote. Winning it all. He ain't got nothing to lose.
I mean, he ain't got a house to lose, a phone to lose.
He needed the most.
I'll tell you right now, you know what? I am not changing what I'm saying, but I do think he'll be better because he really feel like he probably need that 100K, like, to just live. So he may actually come on nice. I think my to win the whole thing. I kind of like Jerry West. I like Jerry West.
Pick. Really?
It's an early pick. I like Jerry West. I like Jerry West. I do. He got bars. I like bars. Like, that's what this is supposed to be about.
But is he gonna come with them though? Because I think his last battle in the post interview, his criticism was that he tried to change it up.
I worry about that. I do. I still, if I mean, gun to my head right now, if I had to pick, I'd say him or because, maybe.
You know what? I like him, but he was because I remember him saying that people said I can't do this and I can't do that, so I had to try to switch. I'm like, I mean, I guess that's what you're supposed to do to get better, but
I think what's key to battle rap is being unique to whatever you fucking do, regardless. I mean, dudes have made. I mean, look at Hitman, look at Rock. Look at all these niggas who do the same shit. They don't do nothing different, but they become tops in the sport. Just do what you do. Keep doing the same shit. Just get slightly better at it, but have your unique whatever. Like, I don't think no one's changed a whole lot.
Jerry West would be my third pick. I think I'm gonna go with Geechee for the whole thing. And my second guy would be Rum Nitty.
I wanted to say Rum. I don't think Geechee has a shot, honestly.
You don't think so?
You know what it is? I just, you know what? So here's my problem with Geechee. I think he's nice, right? The problem with Geechee is that he be in too many battles where niggas be talking to him, and he be looking like he gets his soul talked to way too much for me to be like, I really think you got it. Like, somebody gonna come with you and be like, pushing your place, bro. Bye. I don't know.
I think they started doing that because of the way he used to talk to people. Like, if you go see the way he talked to Tay-Rock, like, he gave Tay-Rock a beating. But
yeah, I remember that.
But I think Geechee, for that setting, the way he writes,
is it small? Is it small setting?
Is judged because Geechee can go big room or small.
He can't do both.
He punches, they hit you.
Right. And those work in short rounds.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like his stuff might be more memorable to the judges. And I think that's why I'm picking him to win, because he has those type of punches, like Rum Nitty too. They both have those type of hits where it's like you remember them a little more than what the other person. The other person might like, okay, if you listen, if they had time to really watch it, you might say, okay, that person won. But because it's judged and it's short, I think I'm gonna go with Geechee in this one.
Who does Geechee go up against in this first shit? Yeah, he gonna beat Riggs.
Riggs, like I don't know, like unless it's rigged for Riggs, I don't see Geechee losing this one.
Yeah, he gonna lose the first
that one,
one.
huh?
I don't know who Riggs is, so it's just like, and then for you to knock out Geechee in the first round, Geechee's 2-time Battler of the Year, so it's just like, I don't know.
I mean, I agree to that. I think he gets out of the first round. I don't know, man. The last couple of times I see Geechee, I mean, just touching that man's soul with words. I don't know.
Like Goods is like probably the only one, a couple people that can actually talk to him like that. Math is another one that's like, trying to talk to you.
I want to see. Where's Goods been at, by the way? I've been wanting to see more Goods. He just ain't. Is he not
Good,
battling no more?
No, Goods is like, he's very. I like what Goods does because he's selective. So like he builds his buzz up by the fact that I don't battle for a while, and then when I do, it's a big deal. Like Mook, Lux, like we're not battling often. They look at it like we're not battling often, so we come out when we come out.
I mean, you figure that's how the elite should look at it. Like, why am I battling every week? Like, you go battle every week. Let those get their bones up. Like, if I'm coming out, whatever you made in those 10 battles, I'm getting in one battle.
I just listened to 1 minute. I just listened to 1 minute of Riggs. Nah, he not winning. We gonna get you. We're gonna get you all the way. We're gonna get you all the way. Nah.
So you picking Serious Jones, which I know you're trolling.
I'm trolling. I probably realistically I wanted to say Nitty.
No picks for T-Top?
I think the round's too short for T. But then again, T-Top did win that tournament on BET.
I thought of T-Top as like my dark horse. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he won. I just don't. I think Rum Nitty's a good choice. I think that's my second pick, probably. I agree with that.
I could see like if Jerry West can give like bars, like I don't know, like I've seen him go a good round where I'm like, now give me that every round.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's a lot. Me picking him is a lot. I hope to see that because he's had verses where I was just like, he's had a round where I'm like, if you did that every round, you gonna win most battles. And then in the second round be like a letdown. And it comes back a little bit with the third round.
But I don't know. I don't want to be clouded because I think the one I'm thinking about, and I'm so mad I'm forgetting it, but the one I'm thinking about, I think there was a lot of personals there. So like those already just make it easier for you to write.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like I don't know. Maybe, man, we going with Geechee.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Geechee. I'm
gonna stay with Jerry. And watch you get knocked out the first fucking round.
The thing is, like, I think if Geechee get past Swamp, the thing is why I'm not picking Swamp because the round's too short. Swamp is like kind of angle based too. Like Swamp ain't hit him hard and fast type rapper. Jerry West got those. So it's just like I think if Jerry West get rolling. Because Jerry West is nice. I like Jerry West. If he get rolling, he tough one to beat.
He just got to string them together.
Yeah. Consistent. Bring them together. Yeah.
Well, it's be interesting. We'll definitely be watching this. All right. Let's see here. What's next? You know what? You gotta end with something fun. So, did you Did you catch your man Zion's press conference after the Knicks whipped that ass? Did you happen to see what he said?
I saw Twitter.
Oh, you saw Twitter. Oh, cool. Well, let's let you in on a little secret. Number one, think that Zion is a phenomenal player. Right? He's a wonderful young man. An infectious smile, right? Lights up the room. He wants to come to New York. And it pains for me to say this to you. No. Like really New York, not the sideshow. He's gonna leave and come play with buddy RJ. Because he almost said, I love playing in New York more than any other place. And then he had to correct himself and say, well, I mean, obviously, but not more than New Orleans, of course. But I think he's leaving. You should prepare yourself for that.
I mean, I can't defend a small market team against New York. I mean, yeah. Listen, I know everybody wants to play in New York, Brooklyn specifically, but I mean, what else you want me to say, man? I mean,
that's fair. But in reality, though, he's not fucking coming anywhere. Let's just keep it a buck. Although it was interesting, he was so excited about saying it. But Reek, we've seen this before. I love playing in New York. It's amazing. The fans are so knowledgeable, but I'm going somewhere else.
It's a nostalgia. Y'all right when y'all talk about, what it means to play in New York and everything that it represents. It's just nostalgia. I'm sure he would come if y'all had the bag. Y'all had to get rid of Randall though, because he's a better version of Randall.
I don't know if he's a better version of Randall. He's a better player. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's a better version of Randall. I don't think he does what Randall does.
They can't be on the court at the same time.
Randall can play center. It'd be a really poor rebounding team.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's like the Lakers getting better because they got Trez.
You're right. Like, yeah.
He plays hard.
Had to go out and get Drummond.
Oh, they did go out and get Drummond. But not. There's something like he's eligible for that rookie extension, I think, after next year. And they said that no player has not signed it in like recent memory. So like he's probably not coming to New York. But Reek, let's theorize. How do we get Zion? How can it happen? Can it happen?
Tell him he can be point guard. He'll come.
We need a point guard. He can't shoot as a point guard. We're used to that shit. Come on down, brother.
Here's the thing, like I think with Zion, because I think like the likelihood of us getting him probably won't be for a couple of years anyway.
Yeah.
So Randall might not even be there. But I do think he wants to come to the Knicks because I think, if I remember correctly, he wanted to be drafted by the Knicks too. He wanted to be the first pick. And he did mention like he's preparing to go to New York because he thought we were going to get the first pick. So I think that, we have a better chance of getting him than other players because other players ain't never sound so happy talking about the Knicks.
That was interesting to me. He was beaming. Like, I mean, it's just like this building and like when I was in college, like he was like Kobe was like, oh yeah, man, it's the Mecca. But it was kind of like from a distance, yeah, cool, but like it's different with Zion than it felt like.
Yeah, so I think we have a better chance than normal to get Zion, especially in a couple years. Those guys.
I'm not getting Zion. Y'all keep speculating like y'all don't get players. Y'all don't. Y'all historically, not historically, in my lifetime.
Not historically. That's historical. At that point, we're at historical. We passed 30, 40 years. It's fucking historical.
Okay.
Historically.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about y'all, but y'all get talent. Y'all don't get talent at the right time, like when y'all supposed to get them.
I agree. Like even when we got Melo, just like, well, we got to go with him.
Right. Exactly.
Gave up the whole squad to get him, and I mean we were better, but I mean marginally better.
Yeah,
marginally.
But still,
better.
even though and also like I didn't mind getting rid of those guys because those guys always hurt anyway. Yeah. Gallinari, Chandler, Wilson Chandler, like they're literally always hurt. so I didn't mind.
And I mean, and at the end of the day, we know this in basketball. If you don't have a guy to get you a bucket, you have nothing. If you don't have I don't care how your team's designed. I don't care if you grit and grind, if you in the post, if you're a 3-point shooting team, 7 second, 12 second, 24 second, it don't fucking matter. If you don't got a guy to get you a bucket, you're not going far in the playoffs. Period.
Y'all need an underpaid superstar. Y'all. And I think you get those through drafting. And I'm not sure y'all gonna be good at that.
I'll say this. I don't think that's we took RJ, he was the best available. I mean, you can still argue that he was the best pick at that spot, I think.
Cam Reddish.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. There was no one really. I mean, we like Cam Reddish because of his athleticism and his shooting, but like RJ was the pick, and RJ's not bad. Like I said, man, how do you not like the kid? Reek. Let that man live.
RJ Barrett?
Yes.
I'll say this. RJ Barrett gotten better.
Okay.
But he's gotten better. But I still stand by what I said. Like if somebody wanted a Julius Randle and RJ Barrett pack for a trade, tell me what you got.
But what would you give for what would it have to be? What would you be willing to take?
Yeah.
If they was like, okay, we'll give you Booker.
I was ready for you to say
else.
Booker. I was ready for you to say Booker. Else. Booker's enough just for the two of them?
No, he's not.
No, not for both of them. But it's like Booker in pieces, or like a Levine in pieces, or you know what I mean? It's like I'm listening. Like for if we can get like a bigger star, I would do it. Because RJ Barrett is like, I think RJ Barrett's gotten better. He's still inconsistent, but I don't see him as like, okay, if we trying to contend for championships, we got Julius Randle as our top guy, and then RJ Barrett is our second guy. I don't see him winning like that.
I don't see him as a Scottie Pippen.
No,
I don't think he's that good yet. At least
Anthony Edwards said he wanted him taking the last shot.
I mean, you want Scottie? He was taking the last shot too, but Scottie was a lockdown defender. So like, I don't even care. And how the fuck would Anthony Edwards know? That motherfucker dumb as a bag of rocks. Who cares what he thinks?
But I would.
Man, that'd be a dumber rookie in the league. No offense, he's stupid.
Out of all the players on the court at that time, yeah, we want RJ Barrett.
I mean,
and then he shot it, and what happened?
it did go the way he said it would go. I ain't gonna lie, but like I don't care what he thinks. I mean,
RJ came back next week and ended it on him.
Right,
so it's all good.
He started balling after that. You know, I gave RJ credit. He was balling after that.
And that's why I do. That's why I don't want to get rid of him, because he wanted New York. I mean, I think they both talked about it. Like, yo, I think him and Zion talked about like, yo, man, what was going to New York, man? I can't wait. Yeah. They both
Zion's gonna make his way. Zion's gonna make his way to wherever RJ is, and it's kind of like, I guess I didn't know at the time, but it's kind of like KD and Kyrie, right? Like,
I
don't know how they became boys, but they boys, and they was gonna make their way to each other, and it didn't matter.
Yeah, so it's just like
I think we gotta keep RJ.
I would keep like this thing. Like, if we can get other stars and keep RJ, I'd be fine with that, because I think RJ would be a great third, fourth guy.
I think yes, I say third guy. He's a good third guy. He's getting better at getting buckets, high percentage buckets, because he uses his body. He gets in the paint. He takes threes that he's comfortable taking. When he was doing that step back shit, I was like, "Who the fuck are you?"
His shot selection.
You need to relax.
His shot selection has gotten way better.
He was like, "I'm a top 3 pick. All right, step back." I was like, "You about to get cut, like physically cut with a knife. What is wrong with you?" But he put it back. He understands how to play better now. So yeah, I would be. Yeah, we're not gonna get him, but that'd be nice.
They'll be playing together.
They'll be playing together. They will be. All right, I got one more thing for y'all. Just one quick thing. I don't know if y'all saw. Shaq was on, I think, First Take one day last week. I think it was, and he made a good we've been saying this GOAT conversation. I think it's officially time to change it from get that shit out of here, G. By the way, it's officially time to change it from the greatest of all time to the greatest of their era. GOTE. I think we need to change the definition because it's too hard now because we've seen so many great players to knock it down at just 4 if you do the Mount Rushmore thing, which is only, I was weird that only, I feel like only basketball talks like this. Most celebrities is top 5, top 10, but whatever. But I feel like if you're going to do the Mount Rushmore thing, I think you have to do it with eras. I think you can no longer do it.
No, I think you do both.
I don't think you can anymore. I don't think you can.
I mean, I don't know. I think technically speaking, sure, it's hard to, I guess, combine or compare eras. But I mean, there's a clear distinction. Like Jordan is definitely better than any player in this era.
That's
Jordan,
fair.
Probably better than any player in the era before him. So I would call him the GOAT.
But even Jordan said, can't say I'm the greatest because I never played against those guys before me. Even he said that. And that's what Shaq was saying. He was like, Jordan, who was looked at as the GOAT, says, you know, I couldn't say that about myself. Now, of course, behind closed doors, he's just a man, fuck them dudes. I'm the best. Of course, he should say that because that's who he is. But I do think it makes sense to say, you know what, or at least have both conversations because I don't think LeBron is the greatest of all time. He's the greatest of this era, without a doubt. And whatever that era would be, the 2010s, I guess you want to call it.
Say what era do you consider him the best then?
I think I'd say 2010s, yeah. He's the greatest of that, or like.
So it's what, Jordan, Kobe, then Bron? Era wise?
Yeah, Jordan, Kobe, then Bron. Yeah, I would say that. I feel good about that.
Who's next? Luka?
Giannis.
That's thing for the next era.
Giannis is next. Giannis is that right now. 2-time MVP. He is that.
No, yeah, but it's like the champion.
Gee, such a troll.
So it's like,
if you count the rings, nobody's got the ring yet. But in terms of just like, to me,
who do you anticipate being that dominant player? Like after LeBron, all those guys retire because they're all in their 30s. So
I mean, I say Giannis right now. I mean, Giannis is what, 26 or some shit, 24, 25.
I think Embiid will win before Giannis.
A ring?
Yeah,
I think only because he has more competent leadership. The Bucks are retarded. They traded for damn Drew Holiday. It was just stupid and then extended his ass. Like, what are you doing?
Giannis leaves, I think he'll have a better chance.
If Giannis leaves,
yep. Because Milwaukee, he's never going to get another guy to go with him for them to win. So you look at the other teams like that's young and it's like up and coming. So you look at Philly because they got Embiid and they got Ben Simmons. They got good leadership. They got Tobias Harris. They got players. Right?
I mean, they may win this year. Shit.
Right. You're talking about, so you're talking about down the line. Then you're looking at Denver. Down the line, like all their players are really young. And they got
I don't believe in Denver. Denver ain't got no dogs.
Yeah, but I'm saying they got a better chance than Milwaukee.
I don't think so.
I think they do.
They soft, and Joker plays no defense, and Murray's also hurt right now, and he plays no defense. I don't believe in them. They got
hitters. They got people that can.
Yeah, you look at they look at Michael Porter, like Jokic is, like all those guys. Like Milwaukee doesn't have anybody. Besides, it's Giannis. Then it's like, okay, Drew Holiday, Middleton.
No, I look at, to me, with a team like the Bucks, I think you have to look at them and think of them as like a Pistons team. Like, they're not going to have flashy names in scoring. They're going to have lockdown defenders at 3 out of 5 positions, and they're going to stress you the fuck out on that side of the floor. That's how I think they win. I don't think they win. And obviously that's what they wanted. They went and paid Drew Holiday money, which was again retarded. Unless you're just trying to lock boys up and just hope you can score enough. Because that feels like Detroit. That feels like old school Spurs. I'm gonna just play boring ass simple basketball, but on defense, we're going to lock you the fuck up. We just need one guy to make a shot occasionally. Maybe it's Middleton, maybe it's Giannis, maybe it's Holiday, maybe it's somebody else, maybe it's Lopez or somebody. That's all we need to do. And occasionally, that's how they win now. Play good defense, occasionally hit a shot.
Probably. I think the next guy, I think not necessarily a hot take, but I don't think we have him. I think the NBA is going to struggle for the next couple of years, whenever Bron gets too old. I think the NBA is going to struggle to find that person. They're going to try to make it Giannis. I just don't think he's that guy. I don't think he's that marketable, you know.
I think for the good of the NBA, it has to be one guy, and that guy's in the worst fucking market.
Zion.
I hope it ain't Zion.
Zion Williams.
I don't see him staying healthy.
I don't either necessarily. I hope I'm wrong.
I think
he's the guy. He has the personality. He has a smile. He's a homegrown product. He's exciting, and again, he's American born. And he's in a better market than Milwaukee, not by much, but it's a better market. And to me, he sees bright lights, big city, and he's excited.
I think it's going to be Zion or LaMelo.
Yeah,
LaMelo is my choice if he can stay healthy.
Because I think his injury is kind of like a freak injury, like who injures their hand. Like, you know what I mean? Like it ain't like he injury prone.
LaMelo has the swag you need for that.
He has a following.
To be there. He has a following. He's the guy. I think the NBA desperately needs to get. I think he can stay in Charlotte, although random monkey wrench in this whole thing. I don't think you really want Melo in Carolina either. Not that it has come to the Knicks. Carolina, Atlanta, these southern-ish places, they're gonna start turning people off with some of like the legal and like legislative shit that they're doing. Like you see with the MLB with that whole shit that I'm saying, we ain't doing shit here. So it's almost like for the good of the NBA, you almost need people in LA. And Florida's kind of a shithole, but Miami seems to be kind of absolved of all of that. But like New York,
it sucks with
Miami. Like if you went to a Heat game, even I went to Heat games when LeBron was there in Miami, and it wasn't even like exciting.
Right, exactly.
It's not exciting, but like
a basketball city. Like,
but I'm saying you need them. But I'm saying you rather have him there than Carolina, which wrote people. Remember they wanted to move the All-Star game from over there.
I think they can do better with Carolina, and I think they can do better with New Orleans if they put the time into it, because that is New Orleans specifically is a tourist city. Like, there's no reason why it shouldn't be like that down there. North Carolina, I feel like if you got Jordan, inherently you should just be something better should be having it. But I don't know. Maybe Jordan's just not a good businessman.
I think like
I tell you right now, Carolina, where they I got a fam down there in Charlotte, where they stadium is. It's right in the thick of everything. It's right in the thick of everything. I just think, again, it's the political shit. They do so much fucked up stuff that it turns people off. I mean, shit, you better off having a star in OKC. It's less. They have a small college town. They're gonna support it, and they're in the news for less of that shit than like Atlanta and Carolina in particular have had issues recently. So I'm saying for the growth of the NBA, considering that your audience is largely of color, probably don't need to be places that are trying to have voting rights restricted and shit. Like, probably not good for your bottom line to have your top guy in that city because that city carries that stigma. That's all.
Right. Still think NBA is gonna struggle, man, because I don't think we have, like, when Kobe came, it was very clear. Right. When LeBron came, it was very clear. Like, you know, LeBron wasn't necessarily challenging Kobe directly, but it was very clear that he was that boy. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if it's clear who's that boy right now.
As far as next, The media will tell you it's Zion
Luka.
or Luka.
Yeah.
It's one of those two. I don't think Luka. It's funny. Luka to me, if there ever was a White Iverson, that's Luka. I'm gonna tell you why.
Jay Williams. Jay
I'm about to
Williams.
say, yeah,
No. Not because of the way he plays. I just feel like he's a guy that he's flashy and he gets a lot of stats, but I don't think he's gonna win. And I don't think that won't let him be the guy. I don't see him he does a lot of shit. I just don't see them winning because of it. Like he has 16 assists and y'all boys still like got beat pretty handily. And you're not making enough winning plays if you get 16 assists and y'all
like
still
it's
lost.
the crazy thing is like I see him like Giannis. For them to win, they're gonna have to leave.
Exactly.
Because nobody goes to Dallas. Dallas is better than Milwaukee, but nobody historically, no major free agents have gone to Dallas.
What do you mean? They got who's that guy? Who came there that one time? They got Darren Williams to come that one time.
He's from Dallas.
And then they got
and Darren Williams wasn't he like washed?
Listen, we're not talking about
for him. It was like I'm going home. I'm from Dallas. Like he was going home.
Then we brought they got DeAndre Jordan to come.
Okay. No, they didn't, did they? Clippers ain't got him back.
But then he come the next year though. Didn't that happen?
They never got anybody. Like it's like
I'll tell you right now what they messed up. They just gave max dollars to a man with one leg.
Porzingis. Knicks fans tried to warn people. They just thought we were just haters.
7'6" shooting guard that can't get in the paint and save his life. It's over.
Right. Can't post. He really can't shoot. Julius Randle shoots better than him than three.
This year he definitely does.
So it's like, but nobody goes to Dallas. So it's just like he's gonna have to leave. Like Giannis gonna have to leave. To get the pieces around you need to win.
I think
they're gonna have to leave.
They're gonna try to make it Luka until they realize he just can't win with the team he has constructed. If Zion is healthy, he'll be the guy. He's too fun to watch. Yeah. He's too fun to watch to not be the guy. Same thing with LaMelo. They're too fun to watch to not be the guy. So I think it's gonna be those two. But you're right though. There is no LeBron heir apparent. I am the man. I will get because the guy has to give you that vibe of I'm gonna get a ring. The guy has to have that I'm going to get a ring, regardless of what's going on. At some point, I'm hoisting the Larry O'Brien trophy. At some point.
I'm not gonna say it's not possible, but like, we talk about this and I hate sounding like we just old heads, but like there's just a different mentality. Like Kobe wasn't the most athletically gifted, but he just had the mentality, right? So like you can bank on that. LeBron, he definitely doesn't have the Kobe mentality. He's just hella gifted, right? So it's like you either have to be a unicorn.
He's a grinder.
He is, but he don't have the mentality.
No, he doesn't at all.
No. So you either got to be a grinder or a freak of nature, right? So we don't see the freak of nature, and I honestly don't see any of the kids in this era being grinders.
He's the great freak, though. He's
they're going to be somebody.
It's almost like somebody's going to back their way into the greatness, because like somebody has to win. You know what I mean?
So it'll be there to lose when they win. I got you.
It'll end up being something like LeBron will quit, and then like KD will get like a year, and then like KD he'll be a little too old, and then it's gonna be like the next like LeBron era people that are still young. Like I don't know, man.
Because looking at it, it's like I don't see any player, coming up again. And I keep tabbing high school, college, and all that stuff. Any player that's gonna just take that, like Zion's probably the closest one if he stays healthy.
What about a guy like Morant, Mitchell?
I don't see him win no championship. I don't see Donovan Mitchell winning the championship.
They're a piece. They're like a necessary piece.
They're a piece. They're not lead guys. Like if you had them as your second, and you talk you in business. You know what I mean? So like let's say Zion with Ja Morant.
Oh, that's a problem.
That's a nightmare. You know what I mean?
It's already a nightmare with Lonzo. Lonzo ain't that good.
Right. And if you had let's say, Giannis with Donovan Mitchell, you know what I mean? Or or Luka with the Donovan, like now you talk like that's what it's going to take for like those guys that have the potential, Giannis, Luka, Zion, to be that great. They're going to need those pieces. They got to go.
Yeah.
because nobody's going to where they're playing at.
I want to throw Tatum's name in there, but I don't.
I mean, I'm going to say that he should be the guy too.
Well, I think they need to get rid of him or Jalen, and then maybe we'll see something from him.
I agree. I think they have to move Jalen. They have to give him the reins. Move Jalen for one of those other guys. I think that's what you may have to do. I think you're right because they're too similar.
They play pretty much the same position. You know what I mean? Like neither one does anything really that different from the other. They occupy the same space. You know, it's like it's a good mix, but not a good mix. And you might have to. And I don't like throwing coaches under the bus, but you might have to. Not because he's a bad coach, but you might just have to get Brad Stevens out just to change the mentality of the team or just change the identity of the team. Kind of like
we about to say the same thing. I bet. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say probably like Doc Rivers with Philly.
Yep, exactly same thing. Yep.
Like that's what you're gonna need. Like,
Doc came into Philly and said, "And B, you're the guy. Fuck out of here, Ben Simmons. The fuck y'all thought."
Right. He did. Right. He did walk in immediately and was just like, he's ahead of you in the totem pole. Right. But what do you? I said what I said.
Like
Golden play power forward. You're not shooting.
You're the guy.
Like it was over.
Yeah. You're the guy, Ben. You're the second guy.
Like
stop shooting all them threes. Get in the paint.
Get your ass in the paint. It's like Robin, pass Batman the ball. You hear me?
Right.
Pass Batman the ball. All right.
What did he tell you? Tell Tobias, stop dribbling.
Right.
Tobias, stop breathing. Just go over there and sit. Don't do nothing.
This is what we're doing. And I think Boston needs that. Because Brad Stevens is like, you know, he's I don't think he's built for superstars.
What Boston need? Would you give Boston like what? A Van Gundy? Who would Boston need?
That's a tough call. As far as the coach?
That's a tough
I like the Sun. I like what was the Suns coach?
Monty Williams. No, are you talking about Earl Watson?
I like Earl Watson.
Yeah. We're naming black coaches, people.
Sure.
Mark Jackson might need to look.
I think Mark Jackson has learned a lot. I still think that. I mean, I don't know how any self-respecting black man wants to work in Boston anyway. But I mean, if he's willing to,
that's fair.
Yeah, he might not want to.
I don't want to hop on a hate Boston bandwagon, but it just shakes me to my core how you want to be in green for a Celtic. I don't understand it.
They can say what they want. Boston, their most successful coaches have been black.
Over really?
Casey Jones, Doc Rivers. Bill Russell was a player coach one year.
He was a player coach 1 year. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. Despite their best efforts, yes, you're right.
You look in the 80s, in their heyday 80s, Casey Jones was coaching.
Damn, you're right. Well,
so
hey, that's why we named who we named.
Yeah, they haven't won since Doc Rivers left. You gonna say that?
Oh, that gotta burn up them old Boston faithful.
And they might. And the other thing is, they might have to get rid of Danny Ainge.
He doing too much. He be doing too much. He in there playing roulette every night. It's like, could you stop?
Like,
could you just get what we need, please?
Somebody put a picture up. Like this could be Boston team right now. It was like Kyrie, Tatum, Brown, Horford, Hayward, like everybody, and like everybody's balling. They put like they stats like everybody's balling this year. Like this could have been your team. Danny Ainge couldn't keep anybody except Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Man, he just, you know what? It's like he keeps getting, he's not rewarded, but he's not facing immediate failure for like just random moves. But you're not seeing the potential of what the team could be. So it's like, oh yeah, we still kind of good though, but like you should be better. Y'all should have been better a long time ago. Like y'all should be top 2 in the team, right? Top 2 in the league right now.
Yeah, He's made enough moves to give himself some wiggle room, I guess.
He's also blown a lot of moves. He's had more draft picks than like anybody.
So you figure he's just swinging and missing, swinging.
Yeah, he's hit on like 2.
He's hit like 2 or 3 home runs. But then he struck out the rest.
He hit on Tatum. Jaylen Brown developed into something because he was looking like, not worthy that top pick.
Yeah.
He definitely developed.
He started when he started talking that LeBron stopper stuff. It's like,
LeBron stopper.
You gotta relax, little guy.
Franchise players, like stop. You know what I mean? But then when you think about it, all the other picks that he didn't have, all the other free agents that he didn't got, like.
Man, don't he got Taco? Do we still got Taco?
I think he still does have. I think he might still have Taco.
Fucking Taco.
Taco not playing, but Taco doing YouTube videos on how many marbles he can fit in his hand.
Yeah, it didn't like just silly stuff. And here's the crazy thing: he could have had AD.
He didn't want to trade. I was
going to trade Jaylen Brown on.
Oh, look, are you fucking high? How do you not make that deal?
It would have been Kyrie, Tatum, and AD. Like, even if AD is there for a rental, you probably win a championship that year.
And if you win, Kyrie probably don't leave.
Right.
Yeah.
He's probably like, I can stay here and just keep winning.
I'm not even gonna say probably. Like, I don't really see how. Who else was in the league? I'm trying to think. Was the Warriors healthy? Because they were hurt, right?
Then that's the year they were hurt. Before they got AD, I think they were either on the cusp of being hurt or they were hurt. When year was that? Yeah. I mean, either way, I think they still had a chance. With all of them pieces, they still had a chance. Who's checking AD? Draymond Green? Fuck out of here.
That's their way through Philly, although I don't think they really Philly eliminated themselves, but
yeah, they did. Interesting.